Hi. See, there's people already in the chat room chatting, and I have a few questions. I didn't get many in comments today, but I have a few left over from I did a show in the garden with Kelly, and she there were people who were putting comments in it, questions in at the end, and we'd already been on the show for an hour and a half, and I'd already done an hour and a half with Scott, and I already had one more thing I needed to do that day, so I got out of there. I mean, but she sent me those questions, and I don't know if those people will be here or not. Some of them do show up to my shows, so we'll see. So I'm going to be reading primarily in the garden and throwing a few cards. It's going to be not. It's not going to go beyond an hour, guys, because I've already um, taped another one of the 9 candles. So we're through the 4th day, almost halfway done. Yay! And then I will. I was on with Terry from Holding Your Space. It's an interesting discussion because she's a real meditative, channeling sort of person. And I before that I did uh, 2 card readers and an astrologer. So it's trying to get all different disciplines in to see what's going on. I saw that some of you liked my little show intro with the Spock on a cock. I thought that was funny. Um, and I think I like to see that's as close as a holiday theme as I get. I don't know, Alpha, if you should use cockerel. I don't know. I just saw Spock on a cock. What can I say? So I'm going to show you a couple things, some interesting things shown up, and then I'll get to the questions for the day. I want to give people a chance to get in. I've been playing with Chat GPT. As I'm sure many of you are aware, as you've noticed that my postings that I put up for things have much bigger paragraphs, much more filled out. And I just decided to play with it and see how that worked. And I'm still playing with it. And I'm actually taking the visions I created when I created my garden, the visions that I had, I'm letting them run through. And it doesn't tear it up and make it something that it isn't. It just sort of enhances it. And it actually has a function if you haven't gone over there. And this is not an advertisement for them. But if you haven't gone over to Chat GPT, it will take your things and it gives you a chance to edit through them. Sometimes it gets a little outrageous. Some of its descriptions, but about metaphysics is kind of funny. I'm going, I'd never say that. No. And then the things it says about me, they're like so flattering. I can't imagine anybody posting that on their own channel. But anyway, but I'm going to turn that into more of a book so that when people get my garden and if they have my garden and want more information, it's done a beautiful, beautiful job of taking those images and making them stronger. But I was uh, doing one and I wanted it to talk about me reading in the garden and uh, okay, I'm glad Violetta and Linda stopped. I just have to run my own show, kids. There's just no way about it. But anyway, I was talking about doing things in my garden and it said, I typed all the information in and then it took forever for it to develop the text. And I was like, what's going on? I thought I'd broken it. But anyway, maybe I did. This is what it came up with. It sent this image back to me and it said, this is Nancy in her garden reading. Oh, if it would. First of all, her hair is not purple. I think she looks just like Sheila. But I thought it's just a beautiful image. And so it just made this image. I didn't say, please make an image for me. I want an image. It just showed up with it. So then I was typing in information about the 9 candles that was going out to the other readers. I had broken it down into 6 sort of concepts I felt around it. And it did a really lovely job of commenting on that. But then it did the same thing. It just stopped and whirled and whirled and whirled. And I went, what's it going to come up with now? And this is the graphic it developed for my 9 candles. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm like so excited. This will be the thumbnail for my 9 candles this year for the Christmas. And I'm just so excited about it. I think it's just gorgeous. And then I clicked on it and I asked it to explain the image to me, and it broke it down how it found it and all the things I talked about. It talks about the cold of the winter and the warm of the summer, which is the north and south thing. It has to do with the solstice. And there's a lot more 9 candles on there, but that's okay. And the beautiful blue lotus in the middle. Anyway, that when you see that image, it means it's a 9 candle show. And not that I wouldn't even try to put it, I didn't even know. I knew someone told me it did images. I still to this day don't know why it did those 2 images for me. And yeah, I like that picture a lot. I've always liked Alma, who's always helped me develop them now. She's working real hard doing her own thing. But, and she's the one who helped design the garden. So she always gets first shot at this stuff. Anyway, I'm working really hard. I'm doing a lot of 12-month readings. I give 12-month readings away to personal friends as a Christmas gift. So I'm also doing them. I offered it out to a couple readers who I don't know personally, but I really enjoy their readings. I was taken up on my offer by one of them. And so I have now personally met Marianne from Revealing Light. Fascinating lady. And her reading was all about her book that's coming out. And her book comes out in, I believe it's March, maybe February. But anyway, it was really, really interesting to meet with her and to talk to her about her theory on reading. And she's like I am. She's been sensitive. And I've been drifting around in the world of psychicness since she was a kid. So it's kind of fun when I meet someone like that, because we get to compare notes on what it was like to live in that world and then grow up in it and then just become a part of that in the broader sense of the universe. So that's what I've been doing on my vacation, which is not much of a vacation right now. I think I'm reading pretty much every day straight for 7 days. And for the gardeners, I will be sending out a thing about meeting in the garden to do a garden class. Yeah, Marianne, I kind of sensed it when I listened to her. She knows a lot more about how government really works. And I always had a feeling she'd been in the room where it happens. And she doesn't hide it, but that's true. I think her book's going to be brilliant. I'm really looking forward to seeing it when it comes out. Anyway, we talk about banners and what people wrote questions about. And so if you want a question, I don't have that many. I'll be able to get to them. I'm going to go over to the garden so you can see it. It's all done. Also, this is where my candles are. So every time I switch from candles to garden and garden to candles, I have to reset up my stage, which is also another pain in the butt. But it's worth it if we get you the right answer. Correct? Yes. Okay. First question. This is one left over from Sunday when I read with Kelly. We both read in the garden, and she's getting really, really good at reading in the garden. And so I'm going to move my iced tea because it's on the rolling little table. It goes in and out with my keyboard on it. And I have done this more than once where I've knocked the tea over and spilt it everywhere. And then it would be a very short show because I won't sit in cold water. Okay. What we got going here is Patty Sylvan Butterfly. Well, your doctor's appointment. Okay, let's see what's going on around your doctor's appointment and getting the answers and conclusions you need and the help and the diagnosis you need. Oh, got a good spread out reading. We're going to start with the heart because If you know, when I first built the garden, one of the first people who had it was Vivian C. in Puerto Rico. And when she played with it, she wrote me a set of notes she took. And one of them was, whatever's in the heart, you read first. And we have our grounding in our heart, which is good. Encompasses understanding that all is not within the physical realm. So it's not just what they can give you to try to make this better. This has a lot to do with your own sense of self-will, and your solar plexus has your clarity in it. There'll be more than one way that the power to heal you will present itself, but you're going to get all the information you need to move forward. Now, after those two, you've got your third eye. You have your spirits in your third eye. We got a lot of chakra things. You need to deal with it with your own personal insights and how you feel about things. Listen with not just your ears and not just the science book under your arm, but listen to what your intuition will be telling you about what you're hearing. And you also have this is a trip to teach you your own values, and it may be a way to make you understand when you're strong and when you're not. And if you hear a funny little tune in the background, it's because I'm next to the laundry room and they have that stupid song that plays when it finishes. But to finish your present, that's a really good place for it to be. Your values are being purified now. Now your body, this is what's growing up out of your body. And that's in Earth. And physical changes are coming. So I think you're going to find, I don't know what they're going to find. It'll be good news for you because things can change, and they're changing in a good way. There's nothing on here that's negative. Your mind is not quite, it's not quite in water. The actual stone does not lay in water. Your mind is laying between go for it and true. And when your mind's in go for it and true, go for it, it says your thoughts are leading the way, which matches with what we had down here. And the true is positive thoughts will help you manifest your best future. So I think you're gonna, I don't know if you've been under some treatment. I feel like you have. You're gonna find out that things are working out for you. And I don't see anything on here that says your body's abandoning you or going in its own direction. What it says is you need to keep your own heart clear and be ready to work with the advice and listen to what they tell you to do, but listen to your own heart so that you'll know how to respond. And that's her question. Now, from Eleanor Calabresi. Should I share my concerns about how he's not being open in this current relationship? I'm going to do this as a yes, no, because there's so many moving parts. You're seeing one thing, he's seeing another. We're going to do a quick yes, no on this one. And here it comes. Da-da-da, my normal tarot deck. We're doing this as a yes, no. Okay. Should I share my sons? It's like a giant yes. It's like it couldn't be any more of a yes. This is the only card that indicates no, but it's just you need to quit thinking about it and make up your mind and do it. This shows that that's what you know works best in relationships. This relationship needs some real changing. It has the potential to be really, it's also, this would indicate that this relationship is a change from some of the ones your sons had in the past. This indicates it could be a really happy, joyous time and that they could work a lot of things out together. But if he's not doing that, Eleanor, I think very quietly and very separately from the current relationship, you need to talk to their partner and see, talk to your son about being fair with the partner, because no relationship is going to last if anybody's not being as fair and as open as they should be. Now, you need to give your son a chance to explain why he's not. And there may be something in the partner's background you don't know, and that could be helpful. But you need to speak your mind so you can feel at peace. C. Douglas, any feedback on how to best deal with some issues in my family with my adult son? Thanks so much. Okay. I'm going to ask if there's any, if confronting him is going to help or not. I don't know what the issues with your son is, which is kind of hard. Okay. I'm going to do 2 lines. Is it one of should you reveal the family issues with him? And then 2, what will be his response? So the first line is, should you do it? And if it's yours to tell, then you should do it. If it's not your story, if it's something else that, I don't know. See, I'm so glad I'm not around my family of origin, because I don't have to worry about these things. But this is going to be the first part of this, which is, should you discuss those should you even discuss those family issues? Okay. You're getting a pretty strong no, but it may be the only way to make things go forward. But there's some real disruption in the family right now. And you figured out how to work with it, and you know how to make it kind of work for you so you can live with it. But there's still just a lot of hurt and pain in this family. And you're not altogether sure how to tell him how to deal with it. But you want to go forward. You feel like if you have to keep being the keeper of secrets, that that's what's making you nuts. Okay, being the keeper of secrets. So should you reveal this to your son? Would it be helpful? Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh, you got a giant yes, 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 yes. And he senses it's there, but until you give him some of the clarifying information, he's not going to know how to deal with it. I don't think your son is the problem. I think these folks are. These dysfunctional folks in the family, or whatever was going on back there, is the problem. But what you've got is some shadow of what's gone on in the family is haunting him. And this will let him lay down his burden, because he realized it's not just him. It's sort of an inherited guilty feeling he has around himself. This card says, yeah, you can do it. It may alienate him from the family for a while, but I think it won't, because you've got the wish card and you want to try and figure out a way to make the family function as a whole. And that may mean displeasing some of the people who always want you to be the peacemaker. I don't know what the issues are. I do know he needs to learn about it so he can shed that thing. For you, it's the only way to go forward. What you're doing right now is you're protecting these people. And yeah, they're going to be angry and they're going to get pissed. And they may even go away and cut you out of conversations and stuff for a while. But the whole time I'm doing this reading, I'm getting a feeling of you stuffing stuff down in the middle of you and hurting you to protect them. And they're doing jack shit to straighten it out. So maybe it's time to heal the wound by ripping off the Band-Aid. But it's not my Band-Aid and it's not my wound. But yes, he will benefit from it, because he knows it even if he's never heard it, and he needs to understand. Okay. Now I got a totally different, no more family issues. Yay. But it could be a family issue. I'm planning on moving. She's got 3 locations. She's got the mountains, the oceans, and let's see if you should move at all. We're going to see if it says you should move, then we're going to throw it in the garden and see when. But we're going to do 3 lines on this one too. And the first line is going to be, should you move? The second line will be the mountains, and the third line will be the ocean. And we'll see which one lays out the best. And I've done these sorts of things where all three of them were wonderful. So then, isn't that what you... Well, she came to the reader to find out. She doesn't know either. I just say go into your own consciousness and see what you need to do. But and when I'm done with this question, then I'll be going out and looking through the things to see if people have questions. Okay. Reiki healing person, flow Reiki healing person, inflow Reiki healing person. Okay. This is should you stay put? I'd say pretty much you're moving, because even this card means moving out. This is you're spiritually, it's not you're in a good place for you spiritually. Somehow you're not being able to do the work you want to do as successfully. It has been a good place to go and heal and let go of hurt from the past and learn how to move on to the new things you want to do on that you want ahead of you. This card literally means I'm out of here, I'm moving on. And the out card is for you to have a good time. So let's see. We're going to see whether it's the mountains or the ocean. So we're going to move in the mountains. It's not looking so good there, girl. You would meet people that would be helpful to you, but this is no, yes. But this card reverse means meeting people you haven't had a chance to meet. This card reverse means wherever you choose is not going to be great for your own psychic power. And I think there's a younger person who's been talking to you about going there, and they're kind of giving you the sunny side of the story of living there. They're giving you the dark side. I don't think it's what you'll eventually want, because you want to be in a place where you feel really unified with people. So now we're going to the ocean. Oh, muchly better. Kind of. The problem is the cost of moving there. But it says if you move there, you'll immediately find a group of people you fit with. You'll find some people that can help you figure out a way to generate money. This is you. You'll be finding your own values, and you'll find it much easier to not play mind games there. Two of Swords is your head and your heart are fighting. This is a place where your heart will be able to open up and not get stuck in that. So moving looks like a good idea. Mountains look like a bad idea. And ocean looks like a wonderful idea, except it's going to be very expensive to find a place that accommodates your life the way you want it. But I think you can do it. Let's see what happens about him. You're going to, it's the cost, it's a cost issue there. But I think you're either going to find a younger roommate or someone to live with, or you're going to find you have the assets, you're able to make the assets, because it looks like it was lining up to a place where you could make a living. So I hope that helps. If it was me, girl, I would never go uphill again if I were you. Your mountains do not look good. But you might scope out the ocean, going by the ocean and finding people who can be more supportive to you. So now I get to go into comments and see. How is Cecil? How's my dragon? It's interesting because this change of energy, matter of fact, when I talked with Terry today, she said dragons have been showing up a lot in her meditations. And I've heard that the dragons are going to come visit us all during this time. So, yes, Cecil's fine. I still have his drawing. He's here. If you watch my shows, Dr. Gail speaks in the intro, and she talks about some messages she got about this blue light energy, and it was, she wasn't feeling it too much, but she thought that's okay. I got a lot of other stuff going on. Maybe it's hidden in there somewhere. And so, but she said if you watch the introductory show, she talks about a part of the universe that's coming in on this. And it's kind of interesting because they're not a group that's been heavy duty all over us before. No need to explain, being pressed for time and worn down doing long videos. Yeah, but I should be kinder to myself. But when I'm done with this, and then I'm just going to do 12-month readings in January. So, and set up my tarot class. Okay. Okay. We can do this one. For those of you who don't know who Cold Toes is, Cold Toes has cold toes. She lives in Alaska. She went to college in Hawaii and she ended up living in Alaska. This is a girl of extremes. Okay. Okay. Is a good idea to purchase, plan a house with her daughter? Let's see. Very fundamental to your sense of security. This is going to be the most telling stone in the read because it's in the path forward. It says balance your energy and move ahead. What it shows is it's taken you a long time to come to terms with this in your own mind. You spent a lot of time thinking about this. Is final solutions to situations are coming through your thoughts. And you've been thinking about this for a long time. And then your grounding, which is what ties us to the earth, is in air. And air is thoughts. And this also says your ability in your own mind to feel safe and secure with this is what's going to make it clear for you what to do. Then you've got your body and your clarity, air, and water. You have all the clarity you need. Follow one of the paths and use your own force, life force, to resolve your situation. And it says now's a good time to ground your thoughts and get them all together. All of the thinking on here is in really positive places. It's always when in the middle of the garden is the major elements: fire, earth, air, and fire. Excuse me. Fire, water, air, and earth. And when stones fall a lot in that, it's a really basic concept that you're working on. Out here is all the frou-frou and where it's going to or what you're going to need to get there. So your spirit is with this. I think you're thinking it through. It looks good. It looks good. And we got the class on Saturday. We can all roll it and see what you get. When you're in my class, everybody brings in questions. And when they answer them for them, if we can, or we give them an answer, I don't know what's okay. Okay, I do this with cards. What is the past life connection with Maya's daughter, Melanie? Nope. Had a stone try to roll away from me. That will not work. Okay, let's see. Past life between Maya and her daughter, Melanie. This is a past life. This is a current life the two of you've had. This has not always been easy, but you've always stayed connected. Let's see. This is the current life. I said that wrong when I was laying them out, and I apologize. This is the past life, and in this past life, it was stormy. There's a lot going on. The two of you never had enough money, but you two stayed together, and you never blamed each other for that. So when you came into this life, it wasn't that you were going to overlove and ignore the things you needed to do. You both have inspired each other to make the moves you couldn't make in this life because it was so tempestuous. And you really can help each other get through whatever you want. But you two need kind of formal life rules to deal with each other. Like, you do this, I do that. I don't think you should be telling each other what to do, but I think you give each other the inspiration and the space to do what you need to do. So that's your past life connection was one of lack, and this life connection, you guys came in to set it up so that you wouldn't have that. And that's where you are. And rules are important to the two of you. And this is any career changes in 2024. Yeah, we're gonna do. I'm going to do it with the cards because it's really quick. Okay, let's see. Any career changes in my career in 2024? I don't know why I'm feeling this, but I think if there are, they're going to be later in 2024. But let's see. Yeah, they're going to be late in the year, and you may actually be moving, taking what you do and take it somewhere else. Yeah, it won't be till summer, and you're going to find a happier place to work. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but this shows that you're just not happy where you're working. The other workers are not carrying their weight. A lot of stuff gets promised and nothing ends up really happening. And this is 2024 is going to be an 8 universal year. That means the whole world is under 2024, under that number influence. And it's a time to grow. And what you're going to take is what you've learned where you are. Won't be till summer, and you're going to get in a boat with people you like being in the boat with. So I think it's a better setup for you. And I'd be talking now, not obviously not where you work, but to people you know in similar fields or people that might be able to help you get to a new place. Okay. I'm going to do a past life glimpse for Kathleen, and that can be helpful. Let's see if we can find one for you. Let's see where it goes. Okay. Kathleen's past life. It would be helpful for her to know about. Oh, yeah, you're going to, okay. You had a lot of struggles in that life, and you got rid of a lot of the karma, so you didn't carry so much in with you, which is really helpful. But you never quite figured out how to put all the pieces together. So as a consequence, you never found your whole heart. And in this life, you made a decision. You came in under some stressful situations. You didn't always pick the training or the education that you could have had. And your biggest problems happen to you in this life when you don't listen to your instincts. But this shows you're going to make it. This is the wish card. It's whatever you wish for. So what you need to do is turn around this card and open up your intuition. And things will go much more smoothly for you. You don't always have to figure it out in your own head. Sometimes you just have to feel it. and you're on your way to doing that. Let's see what we can see about your cutoff intuition. Okay, you were prosecuted, and I don't mean persecuted, I mean prosecuted. I mean, you got it for being a witch or a healer or a wise old person. You got isolated from other people. So even though that's your strongest suit in this life, you're afraid of it. You need to let go of being afraid of your intuition, and things will open up for you a whole lot. I hope that helps. Yeah, go like my show, share. I actually made it to 4,400. Let's see how long time it lasts. Last time I made it, but it was after I'd done a political show, and it ended up a whole bunch of them were bots. And they took them away, but I don't think they're going to take them away now because I've been on some good shows doing some good stuff. Yeah. Cold Toes is Cold Toes, not Gold Toes, and she is not a villain. No, she is not. She's a sweet, wonderful person. Oh, this is from the other side of the border, but MSNBC says Tuberville will lift his military block. Yeah, I think he just had like another few days, and then they were going to come and they were going to just strike it. Okay. Okay. Golden Healer Quartz. Let me go to one of my reference books that I have about this and see what I can find out for you. I mean, I could channel some stuff, but if someone directed you to that stone, I want to, okay, Golden Healer Quartz. Ooh, it's pretty. Okay. This is what I kind of remembered. For prosperity and wellness, it's the simplest way to attack prosperity to prioritize. God, I can't speak today. Prioritize physical and spiritual health. It's from Brazil. It's a reminder that you should take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit. It's a gorgeous stone. I've had some. I've put them into grids, and I use them for unifying health and happiness. So I'd say that's probably, for those of you who don't know about it, there is a phone app called Rock Identifier. And if you have any questions, you can look up there. So I think whoever was dealing with you is trying to help you get past something that may be blocking you. Quartz is great. I mean, quartz is quartz. I mean, what is it? I think it's something like 85% or higher of all the stones, the crystalline stones that are on the earth are a form of quartz. That includes amethyst and a lot of other things that you think of as being their own stone, but they're not really. And okay. Yeah, he is a smug poop. He's also an idiot. Okay. Go back to school or change jobs. This is going to be easy. There'll be 2 lines. Okay, one more. And we'll go. Okay. Going back to school or changing jobs. We're going to do it with 2 lines. Go back to school. You don't like school much. You understand it could empower you. You've got some concern about the money, and it's being offered you in a way you think is interesting. But you feel like you shut off your own instincts when you're in school. Let's see. Change jobs. Go back to school wins. Change jobs is you just end up in the same pile of crap. You just have to be aware when you go back to school, you feel imprisoned or you feel kind of caught in the classroom thing. I don't know if it's going to be remote learning or real, but, and yeah, I don't know what field you're going into, You might now, turn your spidey sense on. You can turn this one around. Turn your spiritual side, your intuitive side on. And I think trust me, just changing jobs, you're just changing one cat box for the next one. And they never get cleaner, says the cat owner who changes one. Oh, this is the Eileen Connolly. And I don't have it out, but it's Eileen Connolly. It's it's EILEEN Connolly, CONNOLLY. And I had years ago, like when I was in my 20s, I had a workbook of hers that I worked with, and she's a brilliant teacher. If you can find her workbooks for learning tarot, they're really, really good. They're really good if you want to self-teach yourself. And what I like about this deck is the devil is called materialism and death is called transition. And if I can find them, I'll show them to you. But when you read cards in a wine bar, you don't want to put down death. That's their death version. It looks a little like the death card, but not like the skeletal ones. And then materialism is really what the devil's about. It's being too tied to other stuff that's part of our world. And therefore, if I can find him, because I love the sun card in this deck. I think it looks beautiful. And you don't worry about Child Protective Services coming to get that kid for riding around on a horse. And I don't make any money from these people. This deck came out in the early 2000s. The card's always at the other end of the deck when you start looking at them one at a time, if you can find them at all. Okay. I don't think it's here. I know it's in the deck. I just can't find it right now. I just went past it. But, and if I drop cards on the floor, it's not going to be doing me any good at all. But they're beautiful illustrations. They're good. They're close up. Their colors are very true to the tradition of Rider-Waite. And I just love them. And they're the ones I use all the time. Okay, Eleanor, I can do a reading from the other side. I'll get my deck. It's sitting right here. If I can. Y'all saw my office. You'd understand. It's got so much stuff in it. Okay. It's surrender. No, surrender to spirit's a different thing. It's Von Prague's deck from, okay, this is going to hide you. I'm going to do this one. It's Talking to Heaven. It's James Von Prague's book. It's really a good deck. I like it. I don't do much mediumship, and this gives me a tool between me. It's a way I con myself that I'm not really doing mediumship. So, but I am learning over here. Is his message. That's what the card says. And I love his descriptions. They're so spot on about when people say, yeah, that's kind of what I felt. Or anyway, here it says, I've always loved to learn, and sometimes I thought I knew it all. Haha, I had one of those husbands too. But now that I am beyond the three-dimensional physical world, I'm astounded to be learning how everything really works and what a beautiful, harmonious universe. Even now, I can't completely comprehend all of the plans, but I've got the bigger picture. It's amazing. Now is your message for you. You and I are so much more than we ever dreamed of. The only thing I can share with you is how important it is to appreciate and honor yourself and everything else in this life. You and I, like everyone else, are God's sacred creations, which means that we honor God when we honor ourselves and each other. And I definitely honor you. It's a lovely message. I'm going to go down now and star what messages are already out there. So, okay. 2. We've got how much time? 15 minutes. As you can hear, I have a bit of a cough, and it's allergies, guys. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Cold Toast, for the advertisement. Okay. Here's the last 2 questions we're going to go into today. I'm intrigued by everything that's on my table. She wants to know, she can't see all the items very well. Okay. So I'm going to hide it so you can see the items. Okay. These are the basic 5 stones you toss in the garden. They come with the garden. They're part of here. This is a candle. It's one of my blue ones, but I have a lot of them right now, and it's one that I haven't finished burning yet. This is a stone that was made for me by the wife of another reader, and she paints on stones, and I think it's a morning glory. I'm not really sure. These are the stones that represent fire, earth, air, and water. And I have them on each corner of this. And it sort of builds a dome of energy over my garden. It also holds the garden down. Not too well. These stones I put together right after Russia invaded Ukraine. And I have them on my desk every day. And they remind me about the suffering and sending good energy to the Ukrainian people, because they are our line of defense against really evil crap coming towards us. This is a chakra feather, and there's a reader here in Dallas who she gives them to you. She doesn't make them for sale. She only makes them as gifts. And I think if you've seen on Danny's show, he has one on his desk too. And she and I she gets her rocks from the same rock shop I get mine from. And she has a regular like 40-hour a week job, but she loves to sculpt with wire, and she has some gorgeous sculptures in her front yard. She lives about 10 miles from where I live, and she's just the nicest lady. And I don't want to give out her name about the feather, because last time I did that, people called her and wanted to know about how they could get one. And I don't want that to happen to her, because that's not how she deals with them. And then we have any ideas on my past lives? Well, yeah, I mean, I could be snotty and say you had one and go on, but we'll look. And then this is my closeout question, because when I'm done with this, I'm closing it down. I have one more 12-month thing to do today. And I've been in this chair since 8:30 this morning, and I'm supposed to be retired. But I have one more thing I need to do. I need to send out the invitation to the Saturday group for the garden. I got to figure out when I'm going to do it, because I have readings on Saturday too. Oh dear. Read cards, throw them on YouTube. It'll just be a part-time job. Oh. Let's see what Sherry has. You got the biggest mix in this life, I tell you. Okay. This is the past life, and this is the current life, and this is how far you've gotten, and you're still building up defenses and trying to figure out how to work with the energy you brought in here. In the past life, you were very good at what you did. What you did was I think, you know what wise old women were? And and this, you could have lived as well. One of my sister-in-laws, my second husband was 20 years my senior, and this woman was married to his oldest brother. So they were 30 years my senior. And we met them and stayed in their weaver's cottage near York, little tiny village called Huddleston. And she was the wise old woman for that town. And it was a family job she inherited. She took me up through the woods. Spring was just starting there. It's early spring. And she walked me through the woods, and she was picking up plants and putting them in this basket and doing all this stuff. And I said, Irene, what are you doing? And she said, oh, I'm getting my supplies. Everything she did was medicinal. It came out of the woods. And she had a kitchen in the back, is like a little workroom off the main kitchen. And that's where she made all the stuff. And when I got to their house, I had a horrible case of bronchitis. It had started on the plane, and with the pressure changes of the plane, it had really, really hit my lungs. And she said, oh, I'll give you something tonight for that. And so I thought she'd go find me some NyQuil or something. No, she brought me this little brown bottle about this big. And she said, drink half of this tonight and half in the morning. Now, mind you, I could barely breathe. I was hacking all the time. So I drank half of it, and I slept all night. When I woke up in the morning, I realized I'd really slept through the whole night without waking up coughing. And I felt just so much better. And then she said, shake the bottle up and drink the rest of it before breakfast. And by noon that day, the bronchitis was gone. That's what you did in a past life. But you got in trouble for it. And you brought in the memory of feeling trapped by it. And so this time you want to have your power, understand what you're doing. And you've gone through some stuff, because you're carrying the wand of your new life. But you've gone through some stuff to get that. You've run over the bridge of despair. But you're definitely going to a place that was better for you. And you're there now. You can make whatever you want to have come true. You're just not sure what you want to build up for yourself yet. So that's what this past life reading says to me. But you are a healer. So I would assume anything you would take, whether it's a talk healer or helping people solve their problems in any other way, that would be a good move for you, because you were her. You were the high priestess, and you haven't forgotten that. And we are now at 5:43. Oh, Vernie's been making teas. I'm going to do real fast for Vernie. Will her lab be updated? Okay. Will Vernie's lab be updated? Oh, they're thinking about it. They just can't quite make up their mind. They're just about to make up their mind about doing it. It may end up being like you like. It's a yes. Well, it's actually more of a yes. There's someone over you that needs to make that decision, because you're just ready to throw in the towel. And this shows that they're going to make the decision. It's taken them for damn near ever. And even when they fix it up, you're still going to have to sit there and decide what you want to do, because there's a part of your spirit that isn't feeling free and doing that job anymore. But it's going to be totally your choice. It's not going to be anybody else making that decision for you. And we got to go to the camel. Okay, everybody. I'm so glad all of you came today. I may not do next Tuesday because I'm really going to have to be wrapping everything up for the 9 candles, and the 9 candles are looking very good. And I'm really happy with all the readers that I've come. I always am. It's lots of fun to get to talk to different people. And Cold Toast would love to be an herbalist. She's in Alaska, and it's already covered with snow where she lives. You got to move fast, girl. You want to be an herbalist in Alaska. And everybody, the nine blue candles starts. 12th is the intro, and then we'll be going on until the solstice. And Gaia really wants us to recognize that her life has a pattern and a rhythm, and we should have a pattern and a rhythm. And if you want a 12-month reading, I only do them in December and January, and I'm filling up relatively quickly. So I may be asking you to be booked into January now. It's just gotten to that point. But if you're interested in that, go to my website, which is there, and go into the shop, and whatever I have to sell is there to sell. I'm still selling gardens. I have two, count them, 2 throat chakra eggs left, and I'm not doing more until I know I need more. And matter of fact, I'm talking to people up in Madison where they make them about how we can work that out. So I don't want to say, if this goes, there'll never be another one. That's probably not true, but it may very well be true, because I have to decide on how to work that out. And thank you all for coming, and I will see you later. Bye.